Welcome to our channel today. I'm Dr. Hu from South Africa. Today we're going to talk about the first purgative formula. We're going to talk three formula here, which is 大承气汤、小承气汤 and 调味承气汤. As we can see from the names are quite similar. One's a big 承气汤, one's a small 承气汤. The other one, 调味, it means to harmonize the stomach or to adjust the stomach, 承气汤. So it got even the ingredients are very similar. Let's see the ingredients first. As you can see here, 大承气汤, the ingredients are only 4: 带黄、芒硝、枳实、厚朴. And 小承气汤 is from 大承气汤, remove 芒硝. So 小承气汤 the ingredients are 带黄、枳实、厚朴. The last one, 调味承气汤, remove 枳实、厚朴 and add 甘草. So the ingredients of 调味承气汤 are 带黄、芒硝、甘草. So these are the ingredients of the formula. 大承气汤 is actually from 伤寒论. It described in Yang disease. In Yang disease, when it goes to the internal, when the Yang heat combined with the stool in the intestine, so it causes the patient have the constipation, and constipation is the first one, and the winds in the abdomen area, and also patient can feel distending feeling or fullness feeling in the abdomen, and they may have abdomen pain, and the patient does not want to be pressed, or if you press on the stomach, the patient can feel pain or feel discomfort. The patient may have sweat, or especially in the hands or feet. The tongue the coating of the tongue is dry, yellow dry, or sometimes it's black. The pulse is deep and solid, or deep and full. So the first symptom is constipation. In the other case, the patient may diarrhea, so sometimes it's complicated. If diarrhea, that kind of diarrhea is watery. There's not a lot of stool, but most of the diarrhea stuff is watery, and the smell is very bad because of the heat. The patient may feel very hot in the abdomen and doesn't want to be touched. Dry mouth as well. In a worse condition, because of the internal heat, the patient may have insufficiency and the lack of fluids, so it will cause aspirant, and sometimes the patient will be kind of mad, so it's a speech disorder. So in 大承气汤, because of the heat, Yang disease, the Yang heat, when you combine with the intestine, the large intestine, when the heat combined with the stool, it causes constipation. The heat is internal heat, so we use 带黄、芒硝. 带黄is cold and bitter. 芒硝 is salty and bitter, so 带黄 can clear the heat. We use 带黄 to clear the heat for constipation. 芒硝, salty can soften stuff, soften, and 芒硝 it's actually sodium sulfate. So 芒硝 actually is what's the cause is sodium sulfate. Sodium sulfate or in our large intestine, it's very hard to absorb the stuff of sodium sulfate, but the sodium sulfate in the when it goes to large intestine, it stay there. It will increase. It will cause osmotic pressure. So it will cause the fluids from the other organs or around our abdomen goes absorb into the large intestine. So it will add the fluid or add the water to the large intestine, and then the stool can be softened. So that's these two ways. One is to clear the heat for diarrhea. The other is to soften the stool for diarrhea. And these two are not enough because in this condition there's a lot of heat, and combined with the stool, it becomes very hot. So 子时 and 后破 are used here. 子时 and 后破, the main function of them is to activate the qi, and the activation of the qi is going downwards, so it helps to improve the function of 带黄 and 芒硝. So in this case, the patient may have constipation, and we use 带黄芒硝 子时后破 to help to clear the heat. The second symptoms we talk about is diarrhea. So sometimes confused. We talk about the constipation in this case, but why patient we have diarrhea? This diarrhea is kind of different from normal diarrhea. So the patient will have constipation, the stool was stuck on top of the large intestine, in the front part of the large intestine. The bottom part of intestine, it was diarrhea for some fluid. So when the diarrhea is more watery because of the heat, and so there's two way for this condition. There's two way to consume the fluid. One is because of the heat. The heat can consume the fluid. The other is the diarrhea. The watery diarrhea will consume the patient's fluid. So in this condition, the patient may have insufficiency, which can cause spasm. So it's actually a worse or a more severe condition of Yang disease. And 小承气汤. The next one is 小承气汤. 小承气汤 is actually from 大承气汤. We remove 芒硝. Why we remove 芒硝? It is because this patient, they got constipation, but not as severe as the 大承气汤 patient. So the patient will still have Yang disease and still have the internal heat combined with the stool, but the stool is not hot, and when you press the abdomen area, the patient feel discomfort, but not as bad as the 大承气汤 patient. The last one was 调味承气汤. 调味承气汤, it is from 大承气汤, and 子时 and 后破 are removed. They add 甘草 there. So we can see from there why they remove 子时 and 后破. As we said before, 子时 and 后破 is the herbs for activating the qi and bring the qi downwards. So actually, for this kind of patient, 调味承气汤. The patient is in the qi stagnation when the heat and the stool was combined together and it caused blockage for the internal intestine. But the qi stagnation is not that severe, so we don't need to use 止水 and 厚朴. We still use 代黄 to clear the heat. We still use 芒硝 to soften the stool. So in this case, we don't need to use 止湿 and 厚朴. In this condition, patient may be weak, or the weakness of the patient came from the disease, or can be from misdiagnosis or wrong treatment. So, for instance, if the patient need to use purgative formula to cause diarrhea, but the previous doctor they don't know, so they use different formula, and the internal heat, the internal combined heat, the stool there will consume the fluid, so the patient may have insufficiency, and in that condition we will use the other formula. So if the patient is very weak, or it happens at a later phase of one disease, sometimes we use another formula which we talk in next video, 增液承气汤. Thank you for watching our video today. For more information, you can visit our website. See you next time.